if you're going to grow, you have to learn that reliance on God. You got to move away, and this is tough, but just straight shooting. You got to move away from getting your validation and affirmation from people.
Man, right.
You've got to really, truly rely on God. And the only way to get there is to endure those moments that drive you to isolation and deeper dependency, and they're not fun. But in those moments, you really become aware of who you are and where you're lacking, and how much more you need God.
Right.
And you start leaning on Him. And I've mentioned this a few times here and there, but it was an impactful moment that I was in the altar in a worship service about 2 years ago. I remember thinking to myself, everywhere I go, somebody needs something from me. I'm at the school, and I'm the guy, I'm at the church, and I was serving as executive pastor, and people need something from me here. And I go out to preach or teach, and someone needs something from me. And it's always, always, always like giving and helping. And I was like, God, I don't want to do that tonight. I really just want to get lost in your presence. I miss it, just you and I and nothing else. And I don't have to lead. I don't have to do anything tonight. So God, I just want to get lost in worship. And I had my hands up, and I'm in the altar. The worship team was leading the worship. It was just a God moment, to the point, out of 8 years of being there, no one that I remember has done this before or since walked over and laid their hands on my back and was praying for me. 2 people during the worship service. I just kept on, and all of a sudden the Lord began to speak to me in my spirit, and He says, do you know why you are where you're at right now? And I knew what He meant, why I'm TBC president, why am I speaking, why am I traveling, why am I writing books, all these things. Do you understand why you are where you're at right now? Before I could answer, He says, do you think it's because of your education? And I said, no, I know that's not it. And He goes, do you think it's because of your charisma? Do you think it's because of your personality? Do you think it's because of your connections, your networking? Do you think it's because of your last name? I'm like, God, that's not it. And it was just like a list of things. And then He says, or do you recognize that you are where you're at right now simply because I have placed my hand on your life? And when He said that to me, I'm crying. And I'm like, God, I know that's it. And then came the harsh words, but I needed to hear. He says, so if that's it, then why is it that you rely on your education? And why do you rely on your connections and your charisma? And why do you rely? And He went back through that list. He said, you can do that. And He said, all those things will take you somewhere. He said, but you'll never go where I want you to go, do what I want you to do, unless you truly rely on me. And then I'm like, God, I'm sorry.